I'm DeMar Guyman. I run Guyman's Machining and Fabrication out of Cleveland, Utah. We fabricate and machine parts for all kinds of mine equipment, the power plants, farmers as they come in, whatever walks through the door. A lot of our welds are x-rayed. I've got bridges out front that we fabricated that met all the state x-rays and sauna tests. Quite often the power plant projects have to be weld certified, so our work's pretty important. Well, Tweco asked me to test operate a couple of MIG guns for them, and with those MIG guns they had different types of consumables. The first consumable was a one-piece consumable, which instead of the old type of consumable, it come with tips, and the contact tips on this, the thinking is that the gas flowing through helps to keep the contact tip cool and increase the MIG gun life. We tried it out, and in the course of 5 months we've got about a dozen contact tips that we've gone through on them two guns versus the 50 or 60 we used to go through. Well, at first they really couldn't tell any difference, but then as time went on and they weren't changing out consumables, and they're actually very easy to take off and on. There's no screwing a tip in or having to grab pliers and run it. You can usually just grab it even when it's hot, twist, pull it off, pull the tip out very fast. Really an efficient tip. On the overall picture of things, running for a 5-month period, to only have 12 consumables go bad, that's pretty phenomenal. The new consumables compared to the centerfire, in my opinion, last quite a bit longer, and they're much easier to change out, easier to pull off, clean, put back on, because there's no mechanical stuff involved. You know, and that's a big thing, because every time we change out one of these contact tips, before we was also changing out the diffuser. So there would have been 10 times as big a pile of tips along with the diffusers. So with the new two-piece diffusers, if you have trouble with the end of the nozzle clogging off or having a meltdown, you just take that off, put a new one on. You don't have to remove the contact tip or the back end. It stays hooked directly to the gun. Whereas the old style, you pretty well lost the whole thing. And they have a quick thread, so they spin right on, spin right off. You're not wasting a lot of time taking it off and on. This one I think is a very well engineered. For example, the two-piece is much thicker on the back end, so it diffuses the heat better. In my opinion, that makes the nozzle last a lot longer. And being a heavy nozzle, you can run it with either the 16th wire or the 045. We run pretty well for the powerhouses. We run all kinds of metals, from your stainlesses, high temperature alloys, high tensile alloys, AR plates, all kinds of mild steel, so pretty versatile shop. Probably ran 8 spools of hard facing wire on the last cutter drums we had in, and never had a problem with the consumables in 8 spools of wire. The old consumables, we would average changing out a contact tip, you know, with 8 guys out here welding, we'd probably go through 2 to 3 tips in an 8-hour shift. With these, obviously, it's more like 1 a week between that many guys. When these guns come out to public use, I intend to change out all my MIG guns.